So, you know what kind of bothers me about movies?
Not really, tell me.
There are so many great movies
Yes.
that come out, and they're, yeah, I'm drinking 2 liters of Diet Coke. Deal with it. Don't judge me. Anyway, there are so many good movies out there, but the average moviegoer doesn't have, for lack of a better word, attention span. Or they just don't care enough to see all these great movies. They only see like the big ones that people tell them about, like anything by Christopher Nolan. Even though I have a Christopher Nolan one on that list. But there's so many underrated movies that deserve the same amount of praise that like Inception and Spielberg movies get and all that.
Yeah.
And they just don't get it because people don't have it. I could have kept going with this list, but I made a list of 15 movies that I feel are underrated. I stopped at 15 because I realized these videos are supposed to be short. So this is kind of just going to be like a quick fire recommendations thing.
I mean, I'm cool with that if you guys are.
Yeah. So on there, I know I got Sunshine, directed by Danny Elfman and starring Cillian Murphy.
It's a damn good movie.
It's a great movie. I know I have The Prestige, which is Christopher Nolan, but it's his most underrated one in my opinion.
It's actually one of my favorites.
It is my favorite of his. 'Cause it's just fantastic. That's starring Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale. I know I have Zodiac on there, which is David Fincher, but I feel like it's one of his that is often not named with him, and it should be. That's starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert De Niro.
You blew it!
Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr.
And Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo. Speaking of Robert Downey Jr., Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh yeah.
That was the Robert Downey Jr. Renaissance movie. Like that's when his career started to pick up, and that's just a great movie. I think it's the director of Star Wars Episode 8 that's coming out, and his name's escaping me. Rian Johnson, I think it is. He directed Looper and Brothers Bloom, but he also directed this one movie that doesn't get mentioned that often, and it's called Brick. And it's just this fantastic movie starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's kind of like it's in the style of a noir movie, like a detective noir.
Yeah.
But it takes place in a high school, and it's just really unique and interesting. Lucky Number 11. I don't know who directed that, but it's starring Josh Hartnett. Hartnett, is that it?
Hartnett.
He kind of fell off the face of the planet.
Oh yeah.
But he's in that, and he's really good. Also Lucy Liu. Morgan Freeman, for all you Morgan Freeman fans out there.
Bruce Willis.
And Bruce Willis and Ben Kingsley.
Yeah.
So if that cast isn't going to get you to go see that, I don't know what will, because that is a fantastic movie. Goon! This one, I will admit, is because I love hockey. Hockey is my second love to movies, other than, I mean, that's not including humans. Caitlin, I'm sorry. I love you, Caitlin. Goon is this... in my opinion, it's the best hockey movie. If you don't like hockey, you might not like it. But, I mean, it's got really good fighting because it's called Goon, and it's about a hockey goon.
And that's got Sean William Scott in it.
Yeah, and I believe Jay Baruchel wrote it. I don't know if he directed it, but he definitely wrote it. In Bruges is directed by, I want to say Martin McDonagh. I forget. He also did Seven Psychopaths. It's starring Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, Ray Fiennes.
Yep.
Real good movie. It's kind of like a dark comedy mixed with like intense drama. What else we got?
Take Shelter.
Take Shelter, child! That is starring the incomparable Michael Shannon and Jessica Chastain, and directed by Jeff Nichols, who some of you might know directed Mud, Midnight Special. There's a movie coming out called Loving that he directed. He's just a great director. Take Shelter is one of his first movies. I think it's his second movie, but it's incredible. It's an incredible movie. Very, very underrated. What else we got?
Jesse James.
The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. I'm not going to say anything other than click right here to watch my little 3-minute review of it. It's an amazing movie with amazing cinematography and amazing cast. Watchmen and V for Vendetta are both on there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. These are both movies based on graphic novels that I feel kind of fell by the wayside with all the other comic book movies. They're both incredible, and I don't know so much about V for Vendetta, but for the most part, Watchmen follows the graphic novel to a T.
I think the only real difference is the ending.
The ending, which is understandable for mainstream audiences. I would have been fine either way, but I could see how other people would just be like, ugh. Every single Darren Aronofsky movie, we got Requiem for a Dream, The Fountain, The Wrestler. I mean, Black Swan's not really over or underrated, but his other movies are.
Yeah.
I can understand people not liking Noah. I personally liked it. But Requiem for a Dream, The Wrestler, and The Fountain are all incredible movies.
Oh, yeah.
And you should check them all out. If you want your kids to not do drugs, just show them Requiem for a Dream.
It definitely worked for me.
It worked for me. Was that it?
That's your list.
That's my list. Oh, that went by faster than I thought. Okay, what's your list for underrated?
For me, some of the most underrated, and this is just a handful, because we don't want to go all day with this. For me, one of the most underrated movies was a Tom Hanks film called The Terminal.
Oh, yeah.
I loved that movie.
It's a great movie.
When Castaway came out, I saw that directly right after Castaway, and I was like, wow, this is a really good one, too. But, like, nobody likes it as much as I do, and something's wrong with that.
I love The Terminal. It's great.
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely
Directed
great.
by Steven Spielberg, for those of you who don't know.
And another one on my list is called Enemy, and that's starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
I honestly didn't like that, but I could see where you're coming from.
I thought it was like a twisted story, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Jake Gyllenhaal. What more could you ask for?
And they're enemies.
Another Jake Gyllenhaal film that I have is called Source Code.
I haven't seen it.
Something's wrong with you. It's very underrated. Very awesome story.
It came out when I was in college, so I didn't get free movies.
Tisk tisk. Go see that. I actually really like Constantine with
Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves.
I do too. Shia LaBeouf too. And Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. Collateral with Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most badass
I would say
movies, really.
I think Michael Mann directed that.
I saw this when I was younger. I haven't really seen it since, but Smokin' Aces.
Smokin' Aces.
That was a great film. That had a lot of actors in it.
Second one, not
really
so
good
much.
Actors.
But the first one's pretty good.
First one's great, and I loved that when I first saw it, but I was like way younger.
Great soundtrack too.
Oh yeah. 16 Blocks.
I was gonna put that, but then like I realized I was at 15, so I didn't put that.
It's got
I don't
Bruce
know.
Willis and Mos Def in it.
What's his name now? Boston Yayers? I forget.
What, Mos Def?
Mos Def changed his name.
Another one that I have is kind of an older movie, and I saw this when I was younger, and I haven't gotten like unhooked from it since. Jean-Claude Van Damme movie called Lionheart.
I'm gonna throw a new one in there.
Go ahead.
Jean-Claude Van Damme's movie called JCVD or JVCD, where he plays himself, and he gets involved in a bank heist, like he's a victim of a hostage in a bank heist. But the media is saying that it's him doing the bank heist, robbing the bank, and it is incredible. His best acting, period. Like, he has this monologue that's like 8 minutes long, and it's one of the best monologues ever, really. It's just
I'll
great.
have to look into that.
Oh, yeah.
The next one I have on my list is Big Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Kurt Russell's in that and a bunch of other actors, but man, that's an absolutely fun ride from start to
It
finish.
really is.
And I just saw it last year during my 365 movie challenge.
We both did that. Well, I didn't see Big Trouble in Little China then.
And yeah, I was glad I saw it. It's definitely on like top at least 20.
I saw that with my friend. I saw that
365.
at my
For me, one of the most underrated action movies is The Raid 1 and 2.
Raid.
I couldn't decide which one because they're both amazing action movies.
Even if you don't like the story,
Yeah.
the cinematography and the fight choreography.
The choreography
worth
is
it. It's
absolutely crazy in those movies.
I can't wait for the third one.
But
But
that's if I had to recommend like any action movie, just period. It would probably be one of those two.
that's my go-to as well.
Yeah. And speaking of like kind of kung fu action stuff, Kung Fu Hustle.
Kung Fu Hustle.
Ooh.
I love that movie.
Ooh, it's a good movie.
It is a great movie.
Action comedy. It's just hilarious all the way.
yeah.
It's just a great movie.
Watch it with in Mandarin or Chinese, but with subtitles, because there are jokes there that do not translate to the dubbed version, which I've watched both. So If you don't like reading subtitles, suck it up.
I actually have a lot of Jake Gyllenhaal on my list.
I think you got a crush on him, dude.
I'm actually surprised they didn't say he was my favorite actor, but he's definitely an honorable mention, Jake Gyllenhaal. Nightcrawler. I feel like that was very underrated.
My expectations for that movie were too high. I have to rewatch it.
My next one is Dodgeball.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
With Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller, and it's that's just a great movie.
Jason Bateman's great.
I can't. If you haven't seen it, I can't believe you. I don't trust you anymore. Is all I have to say. So there we go.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Sorry for this being so long, but there's a lot of good movies out there that y'all probably haven't heard of because y'all don't watch as many movies as us, and that's perfectly fine. But just check these out if you want to.
That was only a handful between the two of us.
Yeah, I stopped listing them once I got to 15.
Yeah.
So
many underrated movies, man.
So many.
It's just ridiculous.
So many underrated.
Some of these people are just like, they got such low expectations for these things, and it's stupid. You guys, I'm not calling you stupid in particular. You.
It kind of sounds like you are.
But maybe I am. Who knows?
What is this guy?
Go over there. That's a car vlog.
I would love to get over there, but
Yeah, get in that lane. But for you guys, you need to go over there and get the car vlog, please.
What do we talk about over there?
Well, we could be talking about anything. We could be talking about like the trailer for A Monster Calls.
That could be what we're talking about there.
You guys saw our little faces going at it.
That's what she said.
And by that I mean we were in awe and speechless, not making out. Caitlin, don't worry. Kira, I'm sorry.
Maybe later. And over there, that's our review for the new Ghostbusters movie.
Was that good?
We're on our way to go see it right now, so we'll find out.
You guys can find out. We don't know, but you'll find out.
You know before us.
Which is kind of crazy if you think about it.
Maybe. I don't know.
The future is a
The
creepy
future is
thing.
nigh.
And below us is Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Go check those things out. Below that is a like and subscribe button. Just do it. I don't even think, at this point, we shouldn't even have to ask you.
Comment other movies that you think might be underrated below.
There's a lot.
There are a lot.
It's pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
And last and not least, just go to www.keystonefilmreview.com.